All right, welcome back to The Situation. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newsroom and welcome to the Goutopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the Snort Report brought to you by SnortBucks Coffee Company, the best beverage company, as well as Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, that toxic flavor that'll never waver. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, just trying to catch up essentially. We're going to go ahead and have a part two to what is this series that DSP calls? DSP versus the Internet. I think the first one that I've done, or at least the first one that's out, I should say, was the brilliant FGC, where DSP went over the first one, which was like 5-7 minutes, something like that, at least the video itself. And DSP decided to react to the second one, so that's what we're going to kind of go into. It's just that the rest of the garbage that he had, as it pertains to the reacts of that particular video, didn't care about, so I didn't even bother with it. But just over this in particular, it's about 17 minutes from what I've been told. He didn't go through all of it. Womp womp. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, welcome to my TED Talk. So, DSP going back and reacting to the FGC, or anything FGC based, is something that honestly I advocate for him to do for his reaction channel. He should be going over FGC stuff. He should be going over wrestling stuff, the botches, all kinds of shit. There's all kinds of channels that he can reach out to and do all of these things essentially. If he even chooses to reach out to him, he can just react to him. React. So there's a bunch of options out there, but he should stick to what he knows. And you'll see as this my little react series to his little react series goes on, how you gonna act. That's what I should call it. You're gonna see as we go on that on a long enough timeline, as he shows he doesn't know or doesn't understand or doesn't get why certain videos were popular or why is this funny or whatever the case may be, it's going to be one of the many elements that's going to actually kill his reaction channel. He's not open-minded. He tells you, oh, I like things new, I like things different, but he doesn't like change. And both of those aspects, new and different, is an aspect of change. And because DSP is very resistant to change, he will tank himself. He will tank his quote-unquote business. He will fuck up aspects socially because of the concept or his fear or his resentment of change is the reason why he's at where he's at now. I still hold on to the theory that he should have just made a whole new channel. He could have easily it would have been easy for him, I should say, to get the 1,000 subs, to get the 4,000 watch hours. It's not that big of a deal. By doing what he's chosen to do, you've latched this new series, if you will, onto a dead channel that in the algorithm, as well as in just YouTube and Google search, which is essentially the same thing, is completely and utterly dominated by the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. It's dead in the water. And unless he can he needs at least 5 videos, maybe even 7, to break 50,000, 100,000 even, to even get himself a real footing. If not, he's just gonna linger and the channel's gonna die out. And because he's not open-minded, because he can't just sit down and watch a video and give his opinion on it for what it is, which is what a reaction video is supposed to be, because he can't do that, because he's afraid to be perceived as stupid, or it will expose how little he understands about the world, about the internet, about YouTube in general, about this meme culture that he tries to flip-flop back and forth on, or pop culture that he tries to flip back and forth on. It's just going to expose him to be the hermit that we all know he is. And he thinks he can stay ahead of the curve, but he can't. Just like if someone has him react to anything sports-related, he's going to quickly get exposed that he doesn't know shit about sports. I think, honestly, like, if you think about, like, one of his favorite manga, well, I don't even know if he read the manga, but the anime, as it pertains to Dragon Ball Z, I guarantee you that anybody who has any sense of knowledge could go in there and blow DSP out the water. You know what I'm saying? He could probably keep up, you know, up to, like, the Frieza saga, or maybe even after that a little bit, but I think once you get into, like, Future Trunks, and once you start proceeding further and further, he isn't going to know shit. And then if you get into, like, Dragon Ball Super, it becomes a completely different game. And then truth be told, he should know a little bit about GT, and I guarantee you he knows nothing about that, despite the fact that GT is probably one of the weaker aspects of the Dragon Ball series. I guarantee you he don't know shit about that either. He's a poser. He's a fake fan. Time has already proven that. And as time continues to go on, he'll continue to do so. So him doing reactionary content is dumb. It's really, really dumb. Like, you're literally outside of your element. And anybody else with, you know, even a little bit of insight to any of those particular categories will be able to prove it. Anywho, let's go ahead and get into the video at hand. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. And, you know, I don't smell no bacon cooking. So, you know, let me go ahead and get started. Let me get to my work. Let me work. Please, let me work. See you guys in just a second. And thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Oh, is this what I think it is? Okay. Last time around, we watched the brilliant fighting game community. Alright? It's a short video by Crowbcat. That was a hit from many, many years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I will have the link to the Crowbcat video actually down in the description if you haven't seen it and you want to avoid DSP's rendition of this or even mine. So you can at least check that out on your own. And you can make of that what you will. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is from DSPReacts. Excuse me, Ree-acks. Ugh. Let's see, Gamecube. I'm not even sure why he'd even go over that. Even though there's a funny story tied to that as it pertains to Mario Sunshine, but we'll talk about that another day. Anyway, let's see, Gamecube, the Brilliant FGC Part 2, and then a bunch of other crap I don't care about. But anyway, it comes from the DSP versus the Internet Episode 2. It's from February 24th of 2023. Diggs, we're watching his rendition of it. If he decides to post it, there'll be a link down in the description. If not, he did say he'll eventually post all of these in like a playlist eventually. So it is what it is. Alrighty, let's go ahead and restart, and here we go.
Ago. So it was old. Oh, is this what I think it is? Okay. Last time around, we watched the brilliant fighting game community. Alright? It's a short video by Crowbcat. That was a hit from many, many years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago. So it was older footage from like 2015. This apparently came out a year ago, and this is more recent footage from the fighting game community. I don't think it's much Street Fighter. I think it's like Tekken and stuff. But, alright, so 17 minutes. I don't know if we'll watch the whole thing. But let's at least watch. If it's good and we want to watch it, we can watch the whole thing. But let's see. Let's let it roll.
And that's another thing, too. So, one, that's Taquito, by the way. He's going to go ahead and try to regale you with riveting fucking content, saying that him and Taquito were rivals. They weren't. I don't even know if him and Taquito even played it against each other even a dozen times, but it doesn't matter because DSP was on the short end of it, and for there to be some type of rivalry, there has to be some type of level of, I don't know, competitive balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not this one-sided shit that he makes it sound like. Like, him saying that him and Taquito were rivals were like DSP saying that him and Justin Wong were rivals, and they weren't. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you beat Justin at an Evo qualifier, and then thought you were hot shit, and then try to walk off the stage acting like and talking as if you were going to call out Daigo. That never happened. And Justin went on. First off, I don't think Justin actually cared about that qualifier anyway, but that's just me. But Justin went on to actually do shit that year, and what did you do? So, you know what I'm saying? And this is just DSP trying to tie himself in with successful people. Truly successful people. And that's why I'm of the theory that he really, really, really needed that 2000 5 Evo win. He really needed that to cement himself in FGC history. So when people talk about the greats, which are not just Evo winners, just people who have had really good runs in the FGC or amongst tournaments or whatever, there's some guys who, back when Seasons Beatings was like a real thing, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was still being played. Like, dude, like, that's where your grudge matches were at. That's where your fucking huge money matches are. And those people are put up there extremely high. Like, take Golden Boy Neo, for any of you guys who even know who that is. Golden Boy Neo is a commentator now, and I think he's a lawyer in real life. But he spent the early part of his career trying to, I don't want to sound disrespectful, but he spent the early part of his career trying to get a match with IFC Yipes in Marvel 2. You know what I'm saying? He spent a lot of his time doing that. And he had to really crack some heads to get there. You know what I'm saying? Yipes was not... I mean, Yipes himself is already an extremely dangerous opponent. And there was other killers out there, too, that Golden Boy Neo had to, get past. He had to... You know what I'm saying? He had the kind of, not finesse, but he had to navigate his way through just to get up to Yipes. It was a mess, but it was quite the campaign, if you see it. Anyway... point being is that there was a bunch of different ways in the FGC to make a name for yourself. And in typical Darksydephil fashion, he picked the worst ways or what he felt were the easy ways to do it. And now people go out of their way to forget him. You know what I mean? Like, yet again, you know, there's just some motherfuckers who want to ice skate uphill, and there's consequences to that. You know, short-term gains don't mean shit if you want to be remembered in the long term. But whatever. he's the brilliant businessman, right? So what do I know?
Alright. Look at that strut. Look at that power.
That guy right there is K-Brad. I pointed him out in the last video because I didn't see... There's K-Brad. Because he had he was there during the Viscant Low Tier God grudge match that they had on the West Coast, and he was back there memeing it up. But K-Brad is actually a pretty interesting person too. He played a good amount of Street Fighter 4, but I argue that he actually made his name in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. He's had a couple of pretty good rivalries over the years too. Interesting guy. Like I think an interesting progression, because most people I think initially would have thought he was pretty much a mediocre player, and he went on to grind heavy, but he also really put his personality out there, and that's what ended up getting him respected. Because truth be told, you know, most people, Evil Geniuses doesn't just sign everybody. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he was able to get cool with some of the people like Justin, Ricky Ortiz, and some of those other guys, and Chris G at one time. Interesting story how he ended up getting kicked off of Evil Geniuses, by the way, but that's for another time too. That he ended up getting cool with those guys, and allegedly some of them, which is probably true, some of them vouched for him, and which ended up getting him onto Evil Geniuses, and he had he was pretty stellar. He was a solid player during that period of time, which gave validation to why he was able to do what he was able to do, and why he was able to get to where he was able to get. I think it really says something. You know, it's, you know, like K-Brad was never one of the big players, but he wasn't someone to be overlooked. And I think that right there is where the respectability comes in. So, like I said, DSP always tries to make it seem like, oh, you had to do this, you had to do that, so on and so forth, and that's not true. That's really not true. It just goes to show how closed-minded he was, even in the FGC. You know, something that he cares about even more than YouTube, to be honest with you. And despite all the accolades, I guess, that he has obtained on YouTube and all the money he made or whatever, he still wishes to be held in regard with the FGC, and he can't have it, and he never will.
Look at that strut. Look at that power strut at the corner. Very nice. Oh my God, he's like staring at us. What the hell?
I think the dude that you saw, that black dude there, I think that was Dominion, I think, but don't hold me to that. Kind of looks like Dominion. This right here, though, was from one of the matches in Evo Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I think that was the year Justin won, actually. maybe. And yeah, he kind of flopped like a beached whale. Oh shit! Yeah, that kind of looks like Dominion, but it's probably not. But kind of reminds me of him a little bit. And then, yeah, that's Justin. Oh shit! Flopping down to the ground. I want to tell you that was when he. I think he was playing against Chris G at that time. I think, but I'm pretty sure Chris G is who Justin beat to actually win Evo the year that he won. I can look that up to verify it. But this was a pretty iconic situation because they actually thought he might have hurt himself. And you know, if you guys have seen early match footage of Justin, when he came to the West, boy, he put on weight, put on some pretty heavy weight or whatever. But it's one of those moments where, you know, Justin was kind of, I wouldn't say he was in a slump, but there was a lot of people waiting to see when he was going to get that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 win. And you know, this is one of those hype moments that eventually led up to it. So there's a real story behind a lot of it, and that's what DSP don't get, which is ironic because he's a wrestling fan. You know, despite what DSP tells you, he's a wrestling fan, so he should understand the idea of stories being built up. And it doesn't always have to be rivalries with other people. It could be just your own personal story. You know, people thought Justin Wong would have won Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 before he actually did. You know, it didn't happen. Like, shit, a lot of people were surprised, myself included, that Yipes never ended up getting a Marvel vs. Capcom 3 championship. Which is still kind of crazy to me to this day. And you got to remember, for anybody who follows Yipes for any period of time, he was one of, like, the premier fucking Spencer players. Nova, too. Like, a lot of the groundwork on why Nova's as silly as he is now is because of Yipes. Like, I can think of a couple of characters that Yipes really put work in. Laid down the foundation, I should say, or at least I'd say he laid down the foundation, and people built off of that, and he kept contributing at almost all levels. That's the reason why Arturo is so respected in the Street Fighter scene, especially as it pertains to Slim or Dazim as a character, going from Street Fighter 4, even in Street Fighter 5, and it's even suspected in Street Fighter 6. The guy is a fucking Slim specialist. You know what I mean? Even though I think it's fair to say that Filipino Champ probably gets a lot of the, got a lot of the fanfare back then. Filipino Champ will be the first one to tell you that Arturo was behind him when all that was going on. Anyway.
What the hell? Oh, it's Justin rolling around. Why is he doing this? Why is this kid doing this? Wow, how nice, how respectful. How nice. Oh my god, he's got a towel on. He can take it off. Yep. He's doing the Val Venus entrance from WWE. How nice. What the hell's going on?
That's hilarious. Anyway, that's the dude standing his pork chop. You know what I'm saying? We've talked about him in the last one. Like I said, he has quite the reputation in the Tekken community. He can very much, follow up on the shit that he's done. He's a fantastic player. And then Infiltration, everybody should know about Infiltration. I don't know when he's coming back to the FGC, but he had some personal issues, alleged domestic assault. The FGC turned on him heavily, and he's been trying to work his way back into position. But, you got to think at the time that he ended up falling, it was really him and Punk, and then there's other people, obviously, but him and Punk were really at the top of the heap at that time. Yikes. Here we go.
Wow.
the Yamcha pose, just in case you don't get that reference. That's Yamcha when he got blown up by the what was that? I can't think of the name of it. I want to call him Samamen from the first Saiyan story arc. That shit's iconic as it pertains to Dragon Ball. So everybody should know what that is.
Over dramatic, man. Look, it's the cloud moving. There's Tokido. That's my old rival. Tokido's my old rival. I never beat him in tournaments. Never beat him. I was wanting to. Oh, God, it's LTG. LTG gets lifted up by somebody else. Wow. That was
LTG and Guilty, which Guilty has a whole nother backstory to them too. But crazy shit. Like I said, low tier god for all intents and purposes, a piece of shit for sure, without a fucking doubt. Like I said, motherfuckers say in real life though, it's Hallmark cards and bubblegum with that dude, especially at tournaments and shit. Like he's not the asshole he makes himself out to be in real life and shit. He takes pictures, he does autographs and shit. They say he's a dude you can walk up to and have a conversation with. They say he's a really cool person. So, whatever. He's still an asshole. He's fucking done some heinous shit online. But they say out in public, though, you know, if you didn't know of his reputation, so to speak, like if you didn't know about the grimier lolcow shit of it, and you just saw some of his rage compilations or whatever, you met him in real life, he would just come across as just a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? That's just really eccentric online. Whatever.
Wow.
Oh, that elbow!
So we got Street Fighter 5, more modern.
What is happening? Now it's gonna take it. Wolf Crone.
Saberman, by the way, is the little creatures that Nappa fucking plants and shit and ends up wreaking havoc, especially on Yamcha. Just hurtful. Anyway, so sorry about that. So anyway, here's Wolfcrone versus K-Brad, and they had been talking some shit up against each other or about each other online for a little while leading up to this shit. Now, interestingly enough, in like Street Fighter 4, for any of you guys who followed, just entertain me for a bit, humor me for a second. Wolfcrone, when he stepped on the scene during the Street Fighter 4 series, he was like the dude, the beat. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he comes out of like Michigan, I think. And he was laying it down. He was laying it down for the longest period of time, man. Like it was like supposedly, I don't know if it's true or not, but supposedly like there was a bounty between Justin Wong, PR Balrog, Ricky Ortiz, Chris G might have been in that. Noel Brown might have been in that, and there may have been someone else on who just to see who would beat him first. I don't mean anything underhanded and shit. I don't mean like the fucking bounty bullshit they had in the NFL, the Saints in particular. Sorry about that, Tevin. but like it was just to see who could beat him first because he was cleaning up in tournaments. He was cleaning up. It was wild. Excuse me. And keep in mind though too, I think Wolf is originally a PAT player, and then he transitioned over to arcade stick, was still very successful, and now he kind of just goes back and forth from what I've been told. But Wolfcrone was the man to beat for the longest time, man, an online warrior, and he said that the internet wasn't that great, but he made it work. He made it happen. So never ended up joining any of one of the big organizations I should say, and just kind of ran Ruckshot independently for a little while. Really a fantastic player. If you ever get a chance to go back and look at some of his Street Fighter 4 matches, you should. Real impressive shit, man. Real impressive shit.
Disrespect.
Wolfcrone, I know. I actually know Wolfcrone. I used to play with him a little bit back in the day, and it was like at the end of the time that I was playing competitively, he was on the up and up, like starting to get really good. And so I actually played with this guy a bunch. I don't know if he's like a cocky guy or whatever. He was really good when I played him. He was like super, super good.
Tells him to get. Be gone.
Damn.
He washed his hands of that man and
Disrespectful.
told him to go home.
All right, he's going to get a little bit of Oki off this. He's got to use it well.
Pro Combat. I don't know which one this is. Maybe 10 or 11.
And that's going to do it. Buffalo.
Wow.
Taking out Scar with
Why
the
are you
pom-pom.
yelling at him like that, you asshole? Get out of his fucking face.
Nah, because Scar's known to talk that shit. Scar, for all intents and purposes, is known for bringing the best out of his opponents, and he does that shit through anger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he does that shit through anger. He takes people who don't come across as people who would pop the fuck off, or even let that shit, like, or take that shit seriously, and he can really fucking touch he can actually touch the depths of a fucking person's soul and make people really pissed off at him. It's really just part of what he does. He doesn't mean anything by it. You don't mean to take that shit personal. But if you see the results, that's how he gets the best out of his opponents.
beef between these guys.
Why are
There's
you
some
doing
beef.
that?
So let me explain this. Right?
Dude, can you imagine? Like, don't you just want to fucking punch this dude? I mean, if you can't, if you do, you'll get permanently banned from all the tournaments. But what an asshole! Like, why is he behaving like this? Like, dude, could you, like, shut the fuck up in your stupid Ninja Turtle shirt, you fucking nerd?
I mean, you can talk that hot shit all you want, DSP, but you weren't going to do that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He stood there like a man, and he said what he had to say, and the other dude took it. You know what I'm saying? They weren't running in the bathrooms and shit. They weren't having other people stand up for them while they cowered in corners. It's the one thing you definitely... So you really don't have a place to say anything about anything. Womp womp.
Ninja Killer.
Dude, what an asshole.
Scar, he went on Twitter.
He's
he was
still
like,
doing it.
Holy crap. Scar was on Twitter, right? He was saying this is only because they went to first to 2. He was basically implying that if this was first to 3,
Dude,
Buffalo
stop.
would not
Like,
have
seriously.
beaten
By the way,
Ninja
that's
Killer.
Walter in the background, who's my old friend from Connecticut. He still runs tournaments, and there he was. He was in the background. He's still heavily involved in running tournaments. That was Walter, Bacardi Jedi from Connecticut.
Now the game begins. You can't do it
like this. You gotta love these skins in Street Fighter 5 fucking Christmas skin and shit.
Reach sky high. It's a 7-3 matchup. I'm the f***ing best.
Wow.
You're not f***ing with me, bro. Pack it up. Get off my stage.
Another
wow.
throw. Overhand
nice
will do
guy.
it or throw. And the overhand is going to be enough. He's going to build this meter as well. EX shoulder. Roundhouse Tenko.
Wow.
And that spells defeat. Alpha 3 is your first.
What is wrong with these people?
Oh boy, that's Punk. Punk, anybody who knows, Punk ran Ruckshot through Street Fighter 5 too. He ended up losing Evo Finals. He lost to Keto, and he broke down on stage. Not exactly his best moment for someone who talks as much shit as he does. And a lot of people try to stand up for him and say, oh, he was really passionate. He really wanted to win it. His mom was out there in the audience and everything like that. I get all that, man. But this is someone who, as you've seen here, he pops off on motherfuckers. Like, you know what I'm saying? He pops off on motherfuckers. So you crying on stage, I don't know, bro. Seems a bit unbecoming of you and whatnot. But whatever. But he's really, really fucking good. Like, stupid reactions and reflexes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could arguably say that Street Fighter 5 was really made for him. I'm anxious to see how he does in Street Fighter 6. I've seen some of his beta footage, but I'm not it's possible he could still replicate some of the success from Street Fighter 5. We'll see. We will see. But he has stupid reflexes. I'm talking about he can literally, or at least at one time, I still say now, he could literally punish anything. Anything that you throw out there, if that bitch gets punished, that shit goes. You're getting comboed, you're getting resetted, and it's a wrap. You know, pulling out perfects on people was not something uncommon for him. It really wasn't. He's a fucking animal. But yet he told like Mike Tyson, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm the best in the world. You don't want no piece of me, man. I eat his children. You know what I'm saying? I gobble on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm Pat-Man and shit. He ain't got no pride on here. He don't want none of. He sounds like Mike Tyson and shit. And that's what makes him funny. That's what makes him fucking funny. But the guy's a winner. The guy's a winner for all intents and purposes. Excellent player.
You can't touch me. You can't touch me.
See, here's the thing. I can understand getting excited for your win. But why you got to be disrespectful like that? You know what I'm saying?
Coming from the same ass clown who was online on SRK, sitting there threatening people over dumb shit. Threatening people with real life violence over dumb shit. And he's like, well, I don't understand why, you being excited, but why you gotta disrespect people? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The only reason why he bitching that way is because he never did that in real life to anybody else. He could do all that shit online, that online warrior shit, keyboard warrior type shit, but he never did that shit on in somebody's face. Not in real life. Ever. Straight bitch. So who the fuck are you to say anything about anything? You know what I'm saying? Punk ain't out here saying, you know what I'm saying, hey man, you better sign this waiver so we can have this fight because if you get killed, I don't want any responsibility. That's what he did with Viscant. That's what that's the clause that DSP wanted in his fight with Viscant. That if someone actually dies, if someone actually died in this altercation, that the other person wouldn't be considered legally liable. And then what did DSP actually end up wanting to do at the end of the day when he found out this shit was really going to get serious and he was going to get hurt? Oh, like a rat. Like a rat. Oh, hey, Viscant, I was wondering, we can act like we're going to still beef and everything when we come to this event, but then we just turn around to the audience and do DSP chops and shit, which isn't even anything original. He took that from what fucking Shawn Michaels and Mike Tyson did when they found out that, to get over on Stone Cold right before that WrestleMania and whatnot. It made everybody think that Mike Tyson was going to be in DX's corner against Stone Cold Steve Austin because he was a special guest referee and whatnot. And then you all saw how that ended up playing out later. So he tried to do that nonsense, which now that I think about it, that's essentially the birth of fucking the Attitude Era. So, but DSP says he didn't watch the Attitude Era, so how? Whatever. If I keep going on, it's gonna get stupid. It's gonna get silly.
Between you're really good and you won the match, okay, but why you gotta? Oh, you can't touch me. You're nothing. Like that's kind of being a dick. No, I mean I understand getting hyped and you're excited. You jump. Yeah, I won. I did it. But like, talking shit like that is kind of messed up in my opinion. I don't know. What happened? There you go. What happened?
I'm the best.
Same thing.
Say I'm the best. Your whole team should say I'm the best.
Set much up here.
Oh
again,
no, the
that's
wake
it.
up challenge, yeah. But this does
What is
not
he
look
doing?
like an angry Punko. It looks like
This Puko is Smug. Smug's a character too, and what you should definitely check out his streams and shit on Twitch, or you can watch his YouTube videos. Smug's funny, fucking funny. Crazy Dudley too, by the way, in Street Fighter 4. Stupid Dudley, and he a really good Barog. And then I think in Street Fighter 5 he was playing G. He's playing a couple other people too. But actually, as it pertains to Smug, big ups to Smug, by the way. There's a dude who he met online. They're cool now. Well, not cool now. They've always been cool. But he was someone who used to just randomly pop up when Smug used to play online, especially on stream. It's either Hawaiian Shirt Guy or Hawaiian Shirt Man. It's not Pineapple Shirt Man. I think his name is Hawaiian Shirt Guy or Hawaiian Shirt Man. He's a dude who plays online. He's really, really fucking good. He's a really fun person to watch. And you could say, quote unquote, he was discovered through Smug streams and whatnot. Him and Smug have had some best out of 3, best out of 5, best out of 10, or race to 10s. Really, really fun guy to watch play. I look forward to seeing what he does in Street Fighter 6 as well. So really fun stuff, man. Just you know what I'm saying? There's a lot you can pull out of the FGC for all the negative, right? There's a lot of stuff that's positive. There's a lot of stuff that's endearing. Aspects or characteristics that DSP doesn't have, and it pisses him off. You know what I'm saying? Because DSP will always try to portray to you, oh, the FGC, it's all negative, it's all bad, that's why I don't want to fucking deal with those people. And that's to hide, or that's to cover up, if you will, his own mistakes. You know what I'm saying? His own shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? You could have cut a promo, I'm sure, back in DSP's day, and everybody kind of laugh it off and no one takes it seriously. But DSP thought you really had to really get over the idea that you could inflict violence on someone. Or another way of looking at it is he portrays that you have to actually seem like you're a really serious tough guy to try to get yourself over with the audience. I mean, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, DSP, but a lot of these guys came from the street, so they understand what that situation is. So they can smell bitch, you know what I'm saying, when it's in the fucking air. So who the fuck are you to even try to put yourself in that element? It's a shame in a lot of ways that's how he thought it would. Let's reword that. It's a shame that's how he looked at that community and thought that's how he was going to fit in. It's unfortunate, especially when you have people in that community that were far more talented, far smarter as it pertains to life in general, and more importantly, they had goals, they had ambitions, they had all these different things that DSP doesn't have. DSP just holds on to whatever he does well or whatever he perceives to do well, and he just stays there. He never has any ambition to do anything else. You saw that with the helicopter company. He thought he was going to be there forever. You saw that with Machinima. He thought he was going to be there forever. You see that with Twitch. He thought he was going to be there forever. He never has any real ambitions above what he's already doing. You know what I'm saying? If that reaction channel, for example, or this reaction channel, if that shit really blows the fuck up, he will drop DSP Gaming and just do that for as long as he can. Because he's not going to balance both, because that's too much work and he doesn't have the talent for it. He thinks, oh, if this is working, I need to devote all of my time and effort to it, which is the reason why I criticize him so heavily when he talks about diversifying. He doesn't know what that word means. He doesn't have a clue. And in the context that he uses it, oh, well, you know, things on Machinima weren't working out well. Things on YouTube weren't working well. So I had to diversify. So I went to Twitch. How did you diversify, though? All you did is devote all of your time to Twitch, and then you broke your 24-hour embargo to throw your fucking slop on YouTube. How is that really diversifying? But he can't really explain that to you. So don't ask, because he he can't explain that.
Infiltration also. There's a lot of emotions here. It's an especially difficult spot.
No, come on. Oh, what are you doing, man? Not a competition. Come on, man.
Very dangerous.
It's unacceptable behavior.
Fuzzy guard, jump jab.
Thrills just does it.
Oh, he doesn't
Injustice, yeah, this is Injustice.
And that's it. Bop, bop,
Oh, he
bop.
broke his controller.
Whoa.
Yep. He slammed his controller on the table and busted it.
Here we go. We got
what I'm
Wolf
talking about.
versus ETK Brad.
Wolf Crone again.
Oh, wait.
But it's looking like a
Wolf Crone
match.
uses Laura. Okay.
Oh, no. Yo.
Oh, this is Frank. Oh, let me see this.
Oh no! So this is the opposite. This is him getting yelled at now.
Tell him about himself.
Wow.
Let him know.
Final round. I've been to final round a lot. I've been to final round quite a few times in Atlanta, Georgia. So I've been to that tournament before.
Talk to him. Tell him about himself. Tell him about
Wow.
Look at that shit. See, that's what real shit talking is. You know what I'm saying? Brad doesn't need to... K-Brad don't need to really put no violence in him and shit. He's like, yeah, you talked that shit to me earlier. Now I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? You can impose your will on a person without it actually resorting to violence. DSP don't know that because he's an idiot. And he ain't never been in a fight in his life. And if he has, he ain't got that toilet treatment. He got that locker treatment. Whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You can conduct yourself in a certain type of way within the boundaries of the rules and shit and still drum up the hype and still get your point across. But DSP don't know that. He ain't never been in no conflict. He ain't been under Mommy Burnell's dress his whole fucking life. That's why that's why his mommy was still combing his fucking hair when he was 16 and shit. When DSP started going to fucking tournaments, let me give you this funny story. When DSP started going to fucking tournaments, right, with the Connecticut crew and shit. Matter of fact, that is PR Balrog right above K Brad's head. You know what I'm saying? That's PR Balrog right there, by the way. Really good Balrog player. A really good Balrog player. He's also part of Evil Genius too. Anyway, when DSP was starting to go to tournaments and shit, his mother, I think one of the first tournaments he went to, keep in mind he's in his 20s, his mother had to come outside and ask him, did he make sure he packed clean underwear? Because she knew he's a fucking tard and he doesn't know how to pack the essentials. You know what I'm saying? And then he looks into his fucking bag or his suitcase or whatever and realized he didn't, had to make the walk of shame back upstairs or back inside to go and get some. That shit is hilarious. But it just also shows you how useless of a person that he is. You know what I'm saying? It shows you how pathetic of a fucking person he is. Fucking A, bruh. Holy shit. And keep in mind, there ain't no shame, you know, forgetting your socks, forgetting undershirts or underwear, whatever the case may be. But the fact that his mom had to come out there and be like, "Did you pack clean underwear?" Like he running around in dirty drawers. That's just hilarious, son.
That's what I like to see. Yo, punk. That's what I like to see.
Talk that.
That's what I like to see. Right.
And then he was man enough to get up and shake that man's hand. Like, yo, I talked all that shit to you. I told you to get the fuck up off stage. Yada 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 yada. But then when I lost, you know what I'm saying? I gave you my clap. You know, all right, good on you. And I was man enough to shake your hand, even though it gets into some other shit later. We'll see if DSP makes it that far. But he was man enough to shake that man's hand. Something DSP wouldn't have done. And if he did, it'd have been all slimy and greasy and sweaty, and he'd only do it to avoid a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens, Phil. Or that's what it looks like, Phil, when you're fearless. That's what happens when you can be a man and admit that you're wrong. And you can take an L. Without any excuses. Just be a man and take the L. See, you can't do that because you don't know nothing about that.
I love it.
Wow, my man's demeanor.
I love it. That was raw. That was
Yipes.
no air freshener. That was all buzz.
Yipes always brings the hype. He's a great player. He's a great commentator all around. My opinion, one of the coolest, nicest guys in the fighting game community. He was like one of the most inviting dudes. Never involved with starting drama or nothing. Like, probably one of the best representatives of the fighting game community right there.
Now, here's the thing. Why are you skipping out on Tasty Steve, who's yet another person who fits all of those qualifications? Good player, great commentator, great ambassador for the FGC in general. He's knowledgeable in just about everything. Just about. Tasty Steve's a cool fucking dude. He's very well liked. But we can go ahead and skip him, though, right? Not that there was any particular reason, right? You know what I'm saying? It's not like we need to be checking a brother's skin tone or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Tell that stationary to sit his ass down, right, Phil?
That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about, boy. That was Karma Pie. My man was cooking it up. My man was cooking that boy up.
This is the long-awaited rematch.
Yeah.
Long-awaited by who? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not me.
Long-awaited by
Wow,
who?
he's
I don't know.
Doing all kinds of dance moves.
Wow.
This is a long-time
rivalry.
Mr.
Is that the same
DeWalt.
guy for the last one? The Tekken guy who went nuts? I think it is.
Nice.
I think it's the same guy.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Getting high.
He's dabbing his head. He's dabbing his head. That's great. Here, I'll do it too. There. Cool him down. Cool him down.
Quite in range for the toe taps, but dashes in, gives him the instant overhead.
Oh.
He likes a little angle. Wow.
Getting rid of the tag. Oh, wait. What's
No,
he do?
come on.
Oh.
What?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know.
What is he doing?
Punko.
Are we on a 7-second delay here?
Punko.
Wow.
How does he feel about this? I've seen it a
Why did he
million
take his
times.
belt off?
That is translating through the...
But see, DSP don't know shit about Punko and how he likes to strip down and shit when he gets serious. So he don't even understand the meme, but he won't even take the time to actually just watch it. He won't even take the time to just watch it and shit. Just enjoy it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? He can't even appreciate that. Everything needs to have a meaning. Everything he needs to have the inside line on, if you will, to show that he's knowledgeable and he's not out of touch and he's not a hermit and all that bullshit, right? How the fuck do you love something and not know shit about it? You know what I'm saying? He says that the FGC is so terrible and shit like that, but yet he's literally following through somebody else. He's literally following everything that's going on. That's why when somebody big in that community fucks up, who's the first one quick to tweet about that shit? Usually DSP.
How's it going, young lady? All right.
No. Oh, come on.
Wow.
What? This should not be
Okay,
allowed.
the fans. Oh,
This should
the
not be
fans
allowed in
goes
tournament
wild.
play. It's incredibly disturbing. This is incredibly disturbing. Should not be allowed in any way. Permanent ban.
Oh my!
Double yellow card.
Internet.
He's taking it.
Whoa!
He is
Look
not
at
removing
him
the shirt.
laughing. Ho, ho, ho. Oh my goodness!
Oh, come on. No.
Oh
Oh, my God.
The devil's loving this. Look up at him, he's like, good luck. Oh my God.
He won't shake his hand. What is going on? Why are they yelling? What is with the screaming? I can't even understand what's going on.
Yeah, if you get a chance to follow the British fighting game scene or FGC, it's there's some characters over there. It's or just the European scene in general. You should get a chance if you get a chance. Check out the scene a little bit. It's pretty fucking hilarious. The guys are pretty fucking funny, but a lot of talented heads over there too. They take that shit really, really seriously. But yet again, DSP has all this time on his hands, and he's on Twitter. Like he's damn near addicted to Twitter like anything else. And these clips float around all the fucking time. And you're telling me he don't see none of this. I'm not saying that he needs to name every character or every player out there. You know what I'm saying? I can't. But Jesus Christ, he should be familiar with at least some of this stuff. But whatever.
Real is
I have no
grinding his
idea.
teeth right now. Look at his face.
So this guy keeps winning every match, and he gets more hype every time he wins. He's gonna explode. You're gonna have to get like a fire extinguisher to calm him down. Look at him! Oh my God! Look at his face. He's gonna have a heart attack. They have to get him to the hospital. Oh my God! What is happening?
Oh, this is blow up city.
Oh boy.
Wow! Oh my God!
Uh-oh. I don't need chest hair. Do not ever try that again.
For Oni-san,
Oh, don't ever
He
try
destroyed
that
him.
again. Oh, did you see the eye roll from Punko? He did not even want to shake his hand there. Did you see that?
Optimal trade combo, but was just not close enough, and Tweedy gets the point blank throw. Oh my word, he dashes into it.
Oh, it's Sonic Fox.
Oh, he's doing it. He's saying, pick someone else. He's literally saying, pick someone else.
Really?
That's funny. He's pissed. He's like, so you can't beat me with anyone but that character. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a tournament, dude. You pick whoever you want. You pick the best character. Like, why is he even complaining to Sonic Fox about that? What an idiot.
Oh man, look at
It's not that. Yet again, to show DSP how little he knows. All right, so Sonic Fox has like tiers. Like he literally has like he has players that he has characters that he uses to test people out, and he's one of the few ballsy motherfuckers who will do that at tournament. So like he'll pick a character that's not his strongest, and you'll see, and it's amazing to see how far he can go with it. And for anybody who's playing Sonic Fox for an extensive period of time, you know when he's kind of bullshitting and thinking that he's going to get over on you with this, and then you know what his better characters are. It's almost like forcing them to it's forcing Sonic Fox to like be serious, or for his opponent to take them seriously. It's like that. But yet again, DSP don't know that shit, so it is what it is. But you know, everybody has pocket characters, right? Like this should be a concept that even DSP should understand. That you know, like everybody has a pocket. Let's use Street Fighter since that's all DSP knows anyway. Everybody has a pocket Ryu. Most people have a Balrog, a Blanca, a Sagat, or Sagat, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Somebody, you know, most people have a pocket Guile. And like I said, it's all a matter of how far can you take the character in a stressful and in a serious situation, and then running to your go-to character or characters. It's like that. And DSP should know that, but DSP don't, because he's a tier whore, right? And he's a flowchart fucking player, so he don't know anything about any of that.
what is going on through that head?
Like DSP will tell you in Super Turbo, he's like the #1 or #2 best DJ in the world or whatever bullshit. But how many times has he really pulled them out in a tournament? Think about it.
Back. Now this guy came back. Oh, come on. Now everyone's going to get so angry.
And look at Pokechop. No response. I've never seen.
Oh my god.
See, DSP, that's what a rivalry is. That's what a real rivalry is, when you guys are really going back and forth and shit. You know what I'm saying? When there's a real tit for tat. Not you just getting beat down over and over and over again. And because of that, and because you're so desperate to tie yourself to greatness, that, oh, well, me and Taquito are rivals, even though he's beating me every time he played. Oh, well, then you're not a rivalry. You were a combo dummy. That's what you are. You're a combo dummy. There's a difference. There's a big difference.
Oh, no response from Pokechop. The crowd stands up. Oh, and he's. Oh.
Wow.
Okay, moral support from Pokechop. Oh, he needs that sweat.
I have never seen.
All right, there you go.
What is wrong with these fucking people?
Over tying it up.
Yeah, popping off over a
Like, I
dime.
used to get hype over video games. I wouldn't do this. This is like over the top extreme behavior. I've never. I mean.
Oh, and then
another
thing. DSP talks about, oh, you know, if you win a match, yeah, win the match, but you sitting there talking shit or whatever, being disrespectful. But how many times have we witnessed DSP playing Super Turbo or Third Strike or whatever and saying, oh, that guy was terrible. Oh, he was garbage. Oh, you tried to use lag tactics and you couldn't win. Or whatever other lame ass, poor excuse of a winner attitude that he demonstrates when he wins on a semi-regular basis. Yet again, the piggy hypocrisy is fucking crazy. He's a gouty hypocrite and he don't see it. And then gets mad though when people throws it in his face. Or in his snout, if you will.
I've never seen these over-the-top extreme levels of behavior. If it got this, I saw people fight. Like, they get so angry with each other, they yell, and then they would go outside and fucking beat each other up. But I've never seen people actually do this in the tournament like this.
Wow.
Then he won. He just went right through him again.
Man, Real Love looks like he's
Look at
really
that.
taking this seriously.
Uh-oh.
Evo Grand Finals for Real
Uh-oh.
Love. Oh my god.
Oh my god. What is going on?
This man is disrespecting you, definitely.
Oh.
And he's stop it, please.
Stop. Balls is touching the grid right
Teabagging.
now. I
I believe.
Oh.
He teabagged him.
Thank you so much. No handshake. Oh, that was godlike.
What is your opinion on teabagging in fighting games?
I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you know, I had to teabag him. I gotta show him who's the alpha.
Wow.
I knew I was gonna win. He likes to talk a lot of trash about me, and I gotta put the kids in their place.
Winter Brawl. This is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been to that many times too. Winter Brawl tournament.
All right, now we're gonna go back to. Oh, you're cracking me up.
Yeah, she's cracking up. She's like, yeah, this guy's the alpha, huh? This is the big alpha in the room.
Yeah, the joke of it is that someone talking like, yeah, I gotta show the kid who's boss around here. You know what I'm saying? He talk a lot of shit, so I had to teabag his ass and let him know I'm the head of the pack. Like, it's the fact that he sounds that way, but he's fucking really good. Is what makes that shit amusing. It's what makes that shit funny. And more importantly than that, if anybody who's followed Punk's career, like, that's his thing, is teabagging. Like, there were players at one time, there was players at one time who wanted teabagging to be banned. Like, this was an actual conversation that people were having, saying that teabagging should be banned because they felt like Punk was demoralizing people and shit. That shit was crazy. I don't think it ever happened, but oh my god. Like, it's amazing how one person can turn a whole situation on its fucking head. And like I said, most people took the teabagging as it being funny. It can be disrespectful, certainly. But it's a game. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But there are people who definitely got heated over it. But, man, oh man, that was a serious conversation, though, about getting shit banned. Holy fuck.
Wow. That's a hilarious statement.
That was crazy. He said, you know, I gotta put these kids in their place. He's like, I'm the alpha. I'm the alpha omega.
He's here for the last chance qualifier only.
Oh.
What the hell? What is got? What?
He's doing a split.
Hey, K-Brad.
Oh no, this is K-Brad and Wolf Crone again. This is their third appearance with each other. Look at this. He takes the mic.
You step off, my brother.
I'm gonna stay right here.
No, it's okay. We grown men. We good. We grown men. We grown men. Yeah. My man Crone. We got play me. You know what's up, Crone? No words.
Let's see how it goes when he doesn't have a horde of people behind him to to help him out.
Jeez, what was that? Command throw it.
Them.
Front. Lift it.
Got him.
Oh my god. Oh.
They have security. Dude, they have fucking security there to make sure no one fights on stage. There's actually a fucking security guard right there. Look. Wow.
What? He was doing something that I didn't know how to deal with. He would set the fireball right in front, and then I tried to low short it, and I couldn't put him. No, it's not excuses. You won. What are you talking about? You know, I'm not you, bro. I'm not you. I don't got to do the whole cold hands. I don't got to do the cold.
Give him a chance.
No, stop talking. Shut your mouth real quick. So for one second, shut up. I'm trying to tell you that you did something good, you idiot.
You idiot.
Listen.
Dragon of With by outpoking him.
Yeah.
The jab strings are so good, and we're seeing that from Gulanda right now with the 7 golden letters.
Really outpoking him. This is gonna be very dangerous.
Oh, the get up for.
Wow.
Dios.
Reactions.
He's got rage now.
The
Can
depressed
he do something with
reactions.
it? No, we can't. Downfall for the win.
Look how depressed he is. Oh my god.
Phantom. Oh my
Oh
goodness,
no,
like
he was
this.
up on health. He's gonna lose this.
Get some Phantom's
He's
head.
gonna lose his
Boy.
full energy bar here.
He's just doing
Oh
what he
no!
wants. He's doing what he
Oh
wants.
my god!
Phantom
Oh, that's
really-
crushing, dude.
He's playing himself.
That is so crushing.
And the downboard.
Wow. He throws his controller.
The controller went. That pad went flying, boy.
And that's the beauty of the FGC, man. It's over the top. It's pretty dramatic at times and shit. But you got a lot of people who are really passionate about that shit. You know, guys who put the time in the lab and shit, who really try to put themselves in a situation to get themselves to their best. And you know what I'm saying? And there's some disappointing moments in that shit and whatever. But that's something DSP don't know shit about. He really don't. DSP went into the FGC for one thing and one thing only, clout. He didn't want respect, because if that was the case, he would have conducted himself better. He wanted clout. He wanted to be appreciated. He wanted to be loved, I guess. He saw what Justin had. He saw what, Daigo had. He saw what Alex Valle had. He saw what, who else? I mean, there's a bunch of people, really. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who was a top player at that time, and he felt like he should have what they have. But he wasn't willing to put the time in. Even if he had the talent, let's say, even if he had the talent, he didn't have the work ethic behind it. He wasn't good enough. And that, and you running to the the top characters and then using typical flowchart, type shit is only going to get you so far. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't thinking, he was on autopilot. So someone thought a way around him. A lesser character or a weaker character can beat a strong character if you're willing to put the work in and if you can outthink it. But DSP needs all the advantages. Everything needs to be stacked up in his favor. And then when he loses, it's an outside factor on why he lost. And that's the reason why he's a joke. And that's why no one takes him seriously. Womp womp.
Wow. He tried to control it that way, and he walked off that way. Oh my god. The controller went that way, Phantom went that way.
You were doing something.
Oh no, not again.
I couldn't beat. You were doing something that I could.
He's giving you a compliment, though.
Is this kid stupid? I think there's something wrong with him. I legit think there's something wrong with his head.
Fighting out a loser's bracket, hailing from Manchester, UK, it's Side Games B Zone Infections.
What's going on? This is really creepy.
I knew it.
Yo, looks like this guy keeps trying out of prison or something.
And actually, something even more funny about that. How many wrestlers have you guys seen, right? Usually, like, guys who are built up, right? Huge guys, right? Or even Hook over there in AEW. He's a lot like that, or at least he was. He used to come out, he used to, people used to have their hands out to him and shit or whatever, walk past him like they didn't even exist. Heading to the ring, get business done, and then get the fuck out. So, like I said, everybody has, like, as it pertains to the concept of wrestling, or at least fans of wrestling, and then the FGC, a lot of that shit goes together. Long before Kenny Omega really tried to use his platform to bridge the gap between them, because he'll tell you he's been an FGC fan, he's been a Street Fighter fan, he's been a fighting game fan for a really, really long time. It's, what I'm saying, there's a long history between the two. Especially if you go back and listen to old commentaries for, like, tournaments, especially, like, back in, like, Marvel 2, CVS 2, maybe even a little bit of Third Strike. You'll hear references depending on who who's commentating or what the tournament is or whatever the case may be.
Yo, he is so serious. Holy shit!
Special for you guys.
Yes, match.
Oh my god.
Oh, I mean, did I say special? Okay, here we go. And he's trying to escape. Can he find a corner? Wait for it.
Oh, this is the first smash.
Oh my god. Oh.
He broke his controller, right?
Right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, let me tell you something. Real. This guy right here, the one who's about to pick up his water and shit, he's real lucky he didn't get himself caught up in that, what's that guy's name? Shit. Captain something. Fucking I can't think of his name right now. He's very lucky he avoided that bullet with that whole, it's not Captain Sparkles. He's real lucky that he avoided a situation in the Smash community where one dude who's still active in the fucking Smash community got confirmed to be a pedo because he slept with some fucking 15, 16-year-old or whatever that case was. This dude was targeted by the same kid. It's Captain something. And he's very, very lucky he was able to dodge that bullet. He was very fucking lucky he was able to dodge that bullet. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Never mind, didn't even need it. Captain Zach, he was very lucky he avoided that situation because he damn near almost got himself caught up in that too. He was almost a quote-unquote victim of Zach and his shenanigans and shit with some of these grown men and shit in the fucking Smash community. He's very lucky he dodged the bullet, or at least allegedly, according to his story. Whew! You got to think, man. You would think that some of these guys who invest money into the Smash community because they're such such fans of it. Ludwig allegedly, Moist Critical allegedly, whatever. You know, you guys supposedly like these, you know, are really interested in the game, and you know, you guys are cool with the players, or you guys are some of them are getting cool with the players, or whatever. Maybe they should really consider cleaning that community up. Just saying, they should probably clean some of that shit up.
Understand. Yeah, you could tell, guys, this is a tense moment right here.
So Liam doesn't have a clutch factor.
Not really.
He gets really nervous.
I absolutely agree.
Oh, that's a controller break.
That's unfortunate.
The buzz waiting for the
All right, I think we've seen enough. We'll do another because we got about another few minutes before we split the.
Wait. We're at 12:51, we're at 12:51. There's still like there's damn near 5 minutes left. There's damn near 5 fucking minutes left. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, someone paid him to view this, and are we wage quitting? Did we not get enough tips, or whatever the case may be, and that's why we're out? See, this is bullshit. Don't give this fucker money. Do not give this idiot money. Someone paid him. He was paid on the front end to do this, and he rage quitting out because what? He's seeing all these people that are more successful than him and whatnot. He's seeing a culture that he swore that he was at the ground level of this grassroots movement, and yet doesn't understand not a goddamn thing of it because he was doing the whole thing wrong, right? He was conducting himself wrong. The way he perceived the community was wrong. If supposedly that's how you get around, or that's how your name gets around in the FGC, why didn't John or Howard do that? Why wasn't T known for doing that? Why didn't Scott do any of that? Oh, he can't tell you none of that though, right? He can't say any of that, right?
Another video. It's a good video, but it's very, very long, and there was some funny stuff. That was good.
All right, fuck that scumbag. All right, big ups to Diggs and whatnot. He could have put in the last 4.5, 5 minutes into that. He could have done that. You know what I'm saying? He's just tired of seeing all these people who actually made something of themselves, right? He's all that bullshit about his rivalries or whatever. He's seeing what real rivalries look like. And, excuse me, that didn't consist of throwing fucking veiled threats at people online and then cowering in bathrooms and shit or having other people defend him. You know what I'm saying? That's why shit like that bothers him. I'm so, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should have just finished it off. He should have just finished it, just for the sake of it. But he couldn't because he knows he's going to come up short. He can't live up to the very hype that he says it is. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second to straighten up, and then we will reconvene for final thoughts, and I will let you guys go. What a fucking fraud. Alright. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Fun time, to say the very least and shit. Like I said, I'll leave the link to the original video itself without myself or DSP's bullshit in the description. And you can actually check it out for yourself. Check out the comment section. Comment section is hilarious. And you can kind of get a feel for kind of what I'm trying to say as it pertains to the FGC or whatnot. And how DSP really had it pegged wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it comes down to. And then, like I said, all of those people, well, most of those people have gone on to be somewhat successful in the FGC. They're known for something. You know what I mean? And they're respected. DSP isn't. You know, he runs around, tells you 4th place at EVO. No one gave a fuck about that back then. So no one cares about it now. Then he had to try to pivot and be like, oh, well, I won a bunch of qualifiers and shit like that, and I deserve respect. Don't matter, because when it came to the big dance, which is EVO, you still failed. You failed multiple years. You know what I'm saying? On top of the fact that you're a walking ATM for most communities anyway. And then his shit talking of the Tekken community at one time or another, the Guilty Gear community at one time or another, ECC, the event that he tried to hold, he essentially wanted it to be an all Capcom event, which led to all kinds of problems and shit. So he talks about himself as a tournament organizer. If you look deeper into that story, it wasn't that serious. He's not as serious as he makes himself out to be, and he caused some pretty big problems that could have not only tanked that tournament, but may have even gotten him hurt. So it's just one of many things. It goes back to DSP's social awkwardness. Like, you can go ahead and rip off, the mentally disabled and physically disabled all you want. But when you put him in a room with people that are actually thinking individuals, regular people, if you will, he can't hang. He doesn't understand. He needs to have an advantage over people. He needs that. It feeds his superiority. It feeds his ego. You know what I'm saying? If the man had pride, like people say he do, he'd be able to bring himself down a couple of levels, and he'd be able to see things the way he could see things the way other people see it, or he'd at least attempt to. He can't do that, and he's probably fairly lucky he got out of the FGC when he did. To be honest with you, he couldn't compete no more. He couldn't, he really couldn't. He couldn't compete. He already had a shitty reputation that he couldn't fix. Most people were already walking away from him. There was nothing there for him. There really wasn't. So it's probably a good thing that he got out when he did, under reasonable circumstances. And sooner than later, just like you saw with what you heard about, I should say, with the Jaha, Mike Watson situation, he was going to end up getting himself fucked up sooner than later. He don't know how to act. So, and he was playing with fire out there. He's very fortunate he got out when he did. He's very fortunate. And it's funny, when he left, the FGC didn't miss him, and it actually went on to flourish. It went on to do well, with little to no input or influence from Darksydephil. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you guys for the next one, whenever that may be, hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. Oh yes, a GTG network and productions for SnortBucks, for the Snort Report, and for Hard Snorts Gin and Tonic, as well as all of our other subsidiaries. I've been your host. Take care of yourselves, people.